Hello, Bragg families, and welcome to another edition of Dr. Robertson's office. The quiet hallways of summer are about to disappear. Teachers are returning, classrooms are ready, and Wednesday, hundreds of Bragg Rockets will walk through the doors for the first day of the new school year. This episode is especially important because we're going to walk families through the information needed for a safe, smooth, and successful beginning. There are several links in the description of this video that you may want to review before school starts. We will look back at this past week, preview the week ahead, review our daily procedures and school expectations, and we'll introduce our first character education challenge for the year. So settle in, there's quite a bit to cover, but we will keep the rocket moving. On Tuesday, we held our final registration session. Students now have their schedules in hand and are ready to begin the school year. We appreciate every family who completed the online registration process, submitted residency information, and visited the school. Some families may still need to make their school donations or complete payments. Ms. Dice has information about how that can be done.
Families who still need to make donations for school payments should use My School Bucks. You may access the site by www.myschoolbucks.com or the QR code that's on the bottom of your fee sheet. All student payments are receipted through My School Bucks. This is for registration fees, as well as field trips, t-shirts, everything that you'll pay for your student. This is a confidential and secure way to make your payments for your child, and it's credited immediately to their account. Please let the office know if you need any help in figuring out what to pay or have any questions.
On Wednesday, our teachers officially returned to work. Of course, many of them had already spent time here during the summer preparing classrooms, organizing materials, and making certain everything was ready for students. On Thursday, we hosted Camp Bragg for our 6th grade Maroon team. We welcomed half of our incoming 6th graders for an evening of orientation, information, school tours, and introductions. We enjoyed meeting those students and families, and we look forward to seeing them again, along with all our other students next week. Today, Jefferson County teachers, faculty met together for district-wide professional development. We gathered together for important information for the new school year, then broke out into multiple sessions to collaborate on topics for student growth and achievement. Looking at next week, on Monday, August 10th, that will be a professional development day for our teachers. Our faculty will spend the day learning, planning, collaborating, and making final preparations for the school year. Nurse Courtney will also be on campus Monday to receive student medication. All medication must be delivered to the school by a parent or guardian. Students should not bring the medication to school themselves. Prescription medication must be in its original prescription container, must include the physician's order, and must be signed in by a parent or guardian. Over-the-counter medication must be in a new unopened container and must also be signed in by a parent or guardian. A medication authorization form must be on file, and medication will be stored in the nurse's office. Please contact the nurse also if your child has special medical need or requires permission to carry an emergency medication such as an inhaler. Monday evening, we will host Camp Bragg for the 6th grade grade team from 5 until 6:30 p.m. This session is for students who have Mr. Comerford, Miss Donaldson, Mrs. Harris, and Miss Yeager.
Camp Bragg gives incoming 6th grade students and their families an opportunity to meet teachers, tour the school, receive important information, and ask questions before the first day. Students will become more familiar with the building and learn what to expect as they begin middle school. We look forward to welcoming our grade team students Monday evening from 5 o'clock until 6:30, Monday, August 10th.
Tuesday will be a teacher work day. Teachers will use this final day to prepare lessons, organize classrooms, review schedules, and make certain everything is ready for students. And then Wednesday, August the 12th, then comes the day we have all been preparing for. That is the first day of school. In just a moment, we will walk through arrival, transportation, attendance, meals, cell phones, dress code, and other information families need for a successful first day. But first, let's take a little farther look into the future. It is time to activate the rocket radar where we look ahead at events that are more than a week away. On August 18th, that's a Tuesday, that will be a Meet the Teacher night for 7th and 8th grade parents. This will begin at 6 o'clock. This evening will give parents an opportunity to meet their students' teachers, learn about the classes, and receive important information for the school year. August 21st, that's a Friday, will be our first football game. That's a jamboree against the Thompson Warriors. Monday, August 24th, our volleyball team will host Simmons in its first match of the season. Our players are preparing for a great season and looking forward to opening at home against the Simmons Bucks. We'd love to see the stands filled with Bragg families supporting our volleyball team. On Tuesday, August the 25th, will be math night at 6 p.m. More information will be shared on that soon. Monday, September the 7th, schools will be closed for the Labor Day holiday. And then Tuesday, September 8th, will be an e-learning day for students and a professional development day for teachers. Now, let's talk about the start of school. The rules at a glance information was emailed several times during the summer and distributed during registration. It contains most of the information that we're about to review, so families should keep that document available throughout the year. Many of our procedures exist for one central reason, and that's student safety. Mr. Cummings, our assistant principal, will walk us through arrival, dismissal, and transportation.
Car riders will be dropped off and picked up at the front of the building. The school doors will be unlocked at 7:15 a.m. Please do not leave any students unattended before the school doors open. When students arrive, they will report to the gym. Students who wish to eat breakfast will go to the cafeteria. However, for the first day, all students will be in the gymnasium as we dismiss the first period. They will sit with their first period class. There will be teachers in the gym helping them find their place. They may still eat breakfast. They will just return to the gym on the first day. After the first day, all students must be in class by 7:55 a.m. Students who are not in class by 7:55 will be considered tardy. Students arriving after 8:05 must be accompanied into the front office and checked in by an adult. Because attendance has already been recorded, those students will be considered absent. Check-ins that are not accompanied by a doctor's note or a court excuse will be considered unexcused. This picture shows appropriate arrival and dismissal locations. Please follow the designated traffic patterns. Families with questions about bus transportation should use the transportation link that was emailed, posted on Facebook, and provided with this video. Please note, if your child was here last year or at Garda Elementary, the information is the same. Please remember that afternoon transportation changes must be submitted to the front office in writing during the morning and must be signed by a parent or guardian. For safety and verification purposes, transportation changes cannot be made over the telephone.
Regular attendance is one of the strongest predictors of school success. Ms. Wood will review our attendance and check out procedures.
A written explanation is required following every absence and must be submitted to the office within 3 school days. When a child is absent for a funeral, an obituary or funeral home program must be submitted to the office. Please make sure your child's name is on it or highlighted. Students are allowed 7 parent excuses during the school year. Once those have been reached, the absence may only be excused from a doctor's documentation, court documentation, or principal. Often excuses get lost on the way to school or to the office, forgotten about, and never turned in. Feel free to use the QR code, the link in the description, or the link attached to our weekly newsletter to submit parent notes, doctor's excuses, and any other type of documentation for our attendance. Or you can email them to me directly at lfwood@jeffcoed.com. Students who check out of school may not return to check back in later that day unless they have a doctor's note or court excuse. Students who are repeatedly tardy to class will receive consequences under our for tardy policy. Only adults listed as authorized contacts on the student's enrollment information may check a student out of school. Any changes to the authorized contact list must be submitted to the office in writing. Everyone checking out a student must show identification must be listed as authorized contact, and must be at least 18 years old. These requirements are in place to protect our students.
The students may not bring or carry medication unless a physician has specifically authorized it and the proper paperwork is on file. All other prescription and over-the-counter medication must be delivered by a parent or guardian, properly labeled and stored in the nurse's office. Our goal is to keep students engaged in instruction without unnecessary distractions. Mrs. Shelby will explain our expectations for cell phones, electronic devices, and things like that.
Student cell phones must be turned completely off and stored away throughout the school day. 6th grade students must keep their phones in their backpacks. 7th and 8th grade students must keep their phones in their lockers. Phones may not be carried in pockets or on the student at any point during the school day. Parents who need to communicate with their child should contact the school office. Likewise, students who need to contact a parent will be allowed to use the office telephone. Consequences will be assigned when a device is used or carried in violation of school rules. Any confiscated cell phone will only be returned to a parent or guardian. Wireless and Bluetooth earbuds are not permitted. Students may only use wired earbuds or headphones when a teacher allows them for an academic activity. Chromebooks are provided for educational purposes only. Accessing games or inappropriate websites violates the acceptable use agreement and may result in consequences or loss of Chromebook privileges. Smartwatches, including devices such as Apple Watches, are not permitted because they function as unauthorized communication devices. Students cannot carry water bottles from class to class. Water fountains are throughout the building and are functioning for student use. Students may keep a clear water bottle in a backpack. No extra additives. Students should arrive dressed appropriately for a safe and productive learning environment. Shirts may not expose the midriff or have revealing necklines. Spaghetti straps and thin strap shirts are not permitted. The area from the neck to the top of the shoulder should be covered by material at least 3 adult fingers wide. Shorts, skirts, and dresses must reach the mid-thigh or longer. As a general guideline, they should not be more than 4 inches above the bend of the knee when measured from the back. Leggings, jeggings, and other form-fitting pants must be worn with a shirt or a dress of the appropriate length. Pajamas are not permitted. Clothing may not advertise tobacco, alcohol, illegal substances, or display suggestive or inappropriate words or images. Students may not draw or create artwork on their skin while at school. Unusual hairstyles that create a disruption, including spikes or shaved design, are prohibited by the dress code. Non-traditional facial or body jewelry, including lip, nose, or eyebrow rings, and heavy chains are not permitted. Pants must be worn at the waist and may not have holes above the knee. Hoods, hats, bandanas, sunglasses, fashion frames, or other unauthorized head coverings may not be worn inside the school. Students must also wear an appropriate shirt underneath their jackets and their coats. When there is a question about clothing, school administrators will make the final determination based on the dress code.
We're pleased to announce that all Bragg students will qualify for free breakfast and free lunch again this year. Students will use the same 10-digit student identification number or card that they previously used. That number is located on their schedules. And parents, as the school year begins, I strongly encourage you to check the Power School app or website at least once a week. In elementary school, a classroom teacher may be responsible for approximately 25 students. Once you get to middle school, each teacher may teach roughly 140 students throughout the day. Our teachers will try to communicate concerns, but parents should also monitor grades, missing assignments, attendance, and academic progress through Power School. Please email the appropriate teacher whenever you have a question. Early communication can often solve a small concern before it becomes a much larger one. Each week we will focus on practical ways students can strengthen their character habits, relationships, and decision making. This week we will begin with 4 simple challenges. First, the essential 55, rule number 1. When responding to an adult, students should answer respectfully by saying yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes sir, or no sir. Simply nodding, shrugging, or using casual response does not demonstrate the same level of respect. This is not about making students fearful or robotic. It's about teaching them to acknowledge others clearly, respectfully, and confidently. The 7 habits of highly effective teens. Habit 1 is to be proactive. Being proactive means accepting responsibility for your choices, actions, attitudes. Proactive people understand that although they cannot control everything that happens, they can control how they respond. They do not spend their lives blaming teachers, parents, classmates, coaches, circumstances. Instead, they ask, what can I do next to improve the situation? That question can change the entire school year. Then 7 life-changing truths for middle schoolers. Truth number 1, today's awkward moments will often become tomorrow's funniest memories. Middle school comes with wrong answers, dropped lunch trays, voice cracks, forgotten locker combinations, and moments it feels as though the entire planet witnessed our embarrassment. Usually they did not. Laugh when you can, learn from the moment, and keep moving forward. Today's catastrophe will become the story everyone enjoys telling at graduation. And then our kindness challenge of the week. This week's challenge is to help people without being asked. Pick up something someone dropped, open a door, and allow someone to go ahead of you. Help a new student find a classroom. Do a small favor without expecting recognition or repayment. Kindness does not always arrive with trumpets and fireworks. Most of the time it appears in tiny moments that make another person's day a little easier. All right, we know the beginning of a school year brings excitement, questions, and perhaps a few nervous butterflies. Our faculty and staff are ready to welcome students, help them find their way, and begin a strong school year together. Please review the rules at a glance document, the drop-off graphic, confirm transportation plans, and make certain students know how they will arrive and leave school. We cannot wait to welcome everyone Wednesday morning. Until next time, be kind, make good choices, and show respect. It's always a great day to be a Rocket.
From the heart of Gardendale, we stand tall. Bragg Middle School, we answer the call. With maroon and gray, we proudly wear a rocket spirit fills the air. It's a great day to be a rocket. Together we soar, watch us rocket. With friends beside us, we will shine. In our hearts, the dreams align. Since 1976, we've paved the way.